Hey, it's great to see you, my man.
And same here. How are you?
Now, bear with me 1 second.
Sure.
Before I completely give you my 100% attention, I need to put some fish in the fridge.
Okay.
Literally 20 seconds.
A dead one or a living one?
Oh, very dead, I hope. Very dead. I just don't like to leave fish outside of the fridge. Now, here we go. There you are. You.
So how do you see your plans at this moment? We have this new album out. Are you planning anything or?
I'm planning to go for a walk after this interview, and then I'm planning to have dinner, and then I'm planning to go to bed, and then I'm planning to wake up tomorrow morning and see what happens. I gave up. I surrendered. When lockdown happened, I kind of went into a period of mourning in March, and then I said to myself, you really have to surrender now. You have to surrender your identity as a live performer. Because we're living in a different world now, and I'm tired of people telling me, oh, I wish we could go back to normal, I wish we could go back to shows, and I've been hearing that since March, and I decided to let it go. So I have a tour booked in Holland and Belgium for November and December 2021, and I'm not thinking about any shows between now and then. At this moment, I'm preparing for that tour.
Vision for 2020. A ceremony, the mugs out on the table, lazy days and tea leaves.
It was a bit scary to release this record, because for me to release an album with no shows these days is unheard of, because shows are where you sometimes sell the CDs. So I had to, and I invested an awful lot in this album with unbelievable musicians playing with me and unbelievable studio and great engineers, and I decided I wanted to make a really great album even though there were no gigs, and only make it for sale on my website, and it's almost recouped its costs.
Wow.
I thought it would take about 2 years, but we're almost there. I think we'll be there by Christmas. So that's great, and the rest is just really simple living. I'm not a wealthy man, but I know how to live a simple life, and I've got a lot of faith in the universe. I've had a lot of tough times in my life, and you know the other thing, Jan Douwe, is I'm 65 years old now, so I've been touring for 40 years. I've toured America 25 times, Australia 13 times. I've been going to Holland and Belgium and Germany and Switzerland every year. So my feeling right now is that the world owes me nothing. And I have great gratitude for this amazing life that I've had in music. And I'm ready for when the phone call comes to tell me that it's safe to do gigs again. But I'm not waiting for it.
Be like driftwood in the sand. The ocean holds your tidal hand.
I realized in March that it literally is a new world. So when people ask me, where am I now? Where am I in my life? I say that the first class in primary school for a child is junior infants. We call it junior infants. I tell people I'm back in junior infants, and I'm learning how to live again, and I'm learning how to ride my bike again, and I'm learning how to swim in the sea again, and I'm learning how to be a human being again. I'm no longer at this moment someone who goes out into the world as a live performer. My last proper gig was on the 5th of February in Geneva. I haven't done a gig since, and so I'm learning again, but I just decided to go quiet, Jan Douwe. I decided to be silent.
The ocean holds your tidal hand.
I've released 3 albums in the last 5 years, and for some reason this year, 2020, it felt important to me to be quiet and to just actually listen and to really feel what's happening in the earth and really feel it and really listen to it. I think it's like in a conversation. There has to be a period of time where you're not just talking, where you're listening. And for me, 2020 is about listening. It's listening to people, listening to other people's anxiety, feeling the anxiety that's in the world, the worry that's in the world, and finding another way to express that. But I'm pretty confident that by 2021 I'll be busy writing songs.
Lazy days and tea leaves and daydreams.
I wrote Vision for 2020 in autumn 2019, and I was already beginning to look at my own carbon footprint and all the flights that I make, and for someone who sings a lot about environmental issues, my carbon footprint is quite high. Yeah. And I was beginning to think about this, and I asked myself the question a year ago, what sort of 2020 do you imagine? And so I wrote this it's a very dreamy song. Yeah. And it's really about doing what you're doing right now. It's about 2 or 3 people sitting and having a cup of tea,
Yeah. Cheers.
But I had no idea when I wrote this song that this would become the reality for 2020. And this song is perfect for what's happened this year. Yeah. The song is about stillness. It's about simple things. It's about friendship. This song is one of the reasons why I was really determined to get this album out, even though I'd no gigs. Yeah. Because I felt there was something about this song, the beauty of everyday things, who will heal the land. I mean, all these songs were written before COVID-19, and yet these songs feel absolutely perfect for me for this year. It probably is one of the last non-socially distanced live recordings that was made this year, because it was made in the middle of February, and terms like coronavirus and COVID-19 weren't even in my mind.
No.
And within 3 or 4 weeks, I was living in a different world. So this is a very magical recording for me. And even though we did some overdubs afterwards, the whole feeling of this record comes from the live performance of myself and the other 3 musicians who played live with me in the studio.
One bright western evening, 2 hearts at play. She held my hand lightly. Can we stay? Can we stay? Like a swallow.
We only had 1 full rehearsal for this album. We had 1 rehearsal because I deliberately wrote the songs for people to express themselves freely. And I wanted us to do it together, playing live in a beautiful room where we felt safe in this great room with this great man at the desk. I feel that my next album is going to be without words, and it may even be without my voice. I'm learning very old Irish melodies, old Irish airs, on the guitar, and then I'm beginning to write my own, and that's going to be my next creative project. I feel like I want to try to communicate how I feel in this world without words at the moment.
Okay.
Could I play you one of the pieces of guitar music I was telling you?
Sure.
You know,
Yes.
music. I just thought to myself when we spoke about this thing of communication without words.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a piece of music I learned from my friend Steve Cooney, who plays on my album, and it's an old harp tune from about 250 years ago called Bridget Cruise.
Thank you very much.
I couldn't leave without giving you some piece of music, even if it's not a song.
Beautiful.
It's really great to see you, my dear friend. It really is. We go back a long time, you and me.
Yes, we do.
We go back 30 years now, and it's a great thing that we still talk to each other and we still share this love of music. And I really wish you well and your family well, and all those singers and musicians you're talking about in Holland who are struggling. I really wish them all well too, and I hope they find the path to hope.
Yeah.
Because that's what we all have to give each other, is a bit of hope.